Yeah, welcome to the podcast, and welcome to the beginning of the third year of our podcast.
Year 3.
We talked about that last time. The official date. Wait, what's today? 22nd?
Yes.
This is the
birthday.
This is our birthday.
Well, good thing I got something to celebrate.
What is that? It's like a waffle with...
We'll get to that later. Waffle.
Cinnamon roll with blueberries. That's what it looks like.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, this is a third year of a podcast, and so welcome to our birthday party. And also, sometimes on the podcast, I try to have, even if I'm being silly, I try to have a real conversation with my brother, who's sitting here on the same couch as I, opposite ends. And sometimes even if I'm making a joke out of something, I still trying to have a conversation with you. But sometimes I have to switch over and I have to talk to the listening audience. And I need to make an announcement. Need to talk about some engagement news.
You're engaged.
No, my engagement talk I need to have is on the last episode of the podcast. I specifically asked people not to reach out to me, and it was the most comments on the Instagram besides get free stuff.
Yeah.
So nobody ever interacts with the pod on Instagram or something. Leave a funny comment, leave a haha, this part was cool. I share a clip, you can do that. But so on one episode, that's the norm the whole time. And then on the episode where I specifically say, don't talk to me, then they do.
So what are you going to tell him this time?
Never comment on any episode or anything online.
No.
Do not share it with a friend.
No interaction at
Don't
all.
Don't even listen to it.
To stop listening.
Stop listening. Don't tell your friends about it. Don't write songs about it. Don't do TikToks about it and start a trend about how cool our podcast is. Don't do any of that.
Don't set it as your MySpace profile background song.
Running up that hill.
It's going to be there for a while.
Anyways, I just thought that was interesting. And also our very own, not blood, sister...
Foreign correspondent.
The foreign correspondent of the Bad Brothers podcast is now engaged to be wed. She's betrothed. She's been spoken for.
I was going to try to sing the Here Comes the Bride thing, but all I could think of was like the Olympics theme.
What's the Olympics theme? Is that official Olympics or is that NBC?
That's the official Olympic, I believe. The official Olympic fanfare.
The world may never know.
Speaking of
Wait,
world...
what was that for? The world may never know.
Unsolved Mysteries?
Is that Tootsie Pop?
Oh.
I don't know.
The center. I thought it was the
we have
History Channel.
We have very far apart
Unsolved
guesses.
Mysteries or whatever.
Anyway.
Speaking of world
You can
Fanfare. World Cup's coming to Seattle.
text my sister about it. Say, hey, congratulations.
World Cup's coming to Seattle. They're about to clear out so many hobos off the street.
Who will do the World Cup song? Remember they always do like a
like the Shakira one.
Shakira, Shakira.
Yeah, what was that one?
Waka Waka or whatever.
Yeah. 'Cause my hips don't lie. Swedish Chef.
J-Lo said performing with her at halftime. Now, see,
In her documentary.
Yes.
What'd she say?
No, the headlines are messed up sometimes. She was stressed about the thing, but she said they got two giant artists to perform and they made them like split the time.
Yeah.
And so they
didn't have to like pay him differently.
They're trying to do a routine and like a show, but it's hard to do in 6 minutes if you're splitting a 12-minute time slot, you know?
Right.
Because Shakira wants to do her thing and J-Lo wants to do her thing. That's not enough time.
So it's stressful.
Yeah. So she said it was horrible or like a horrible idea or something like that. But the headline writers were like, J-Lo thinks...
bashes Shakira.
Yeah. J-Lo thinks performing with Shakira was horrible or something. And it's just like, that makes it sound like it's something else.
Jenny from the block says Shakira's performance at the Super Bowl was the 8th layer of hell.
Yeah,
Some sort of clickbait.
Yeah. Why they got to be like that?
Clicks. It's all about the clicks.
I've done a few troll things on this podcast.
For clicks?
Yeah. Remember some of the descriptions?
Will Forte?
Some of the descriptions, I made it sound like we might have been talking about SYDNIE. But
there was another one. There was another one that was good. I don't remember what it was. Should we hit the headlines?
Yeah, I was going to let you say the magic phrase.
Cue the music. Did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
Last week, a single beaver caused a mass internet and cell phone service outage in northern BC.
Come on, Beav.
It's really strange that this is what caused the outages on the internet, because on the internet is where I usually see hot single beavers near me.
Yeah.
Click now. In honor of Pride Month, many companies and corporations are showing their support. Quip electric toothbrushes have released a new limited edition rainbow-colored vibrating toothbrush. Now you can show your support when you brush your tongue a little too far back.
Quip.
Got a update, sort of.
Okay.
Remember last week we talked about the brilliant company Swimply.
Yeah.
Have you rented out a pool yet? It was warm. It's warm out. Getting warm out. It's supposed to be 90 degrees.
I know.
By the time this is out, it will have been 90 degrees. So they say. So you can go on Swimply. But there's another craze you may have heard about in the area, especially among the white women of America.
Costco.
The basic bees of America.
Costco.
Crumble.
Oh, yeah.
Or crumble.
Crumble.
Because it's another name where they just decide, let's just skip a letter.
That's mostly because of websites.
So I thought we'd see what all the hype is about. They sell cookies. That's all it is. Large cookies. And they come out with different flavors each week. But then they have like a couple, or they have like the chocolate chip is always there or something like that. But every week, different flavors. And some come served warm, some come room temp. For this week, we got blueberry cheesecake because it looked the most wild.
Blueberry cheesecake.
So we have never tried this. We're going to try
Oh, this is why we have napkins?
Meow.
When you had this out, I thought you were... I thought this was your dinner, like you're having a waffle. But then I realized, like, that's a lot of frosting to be a waffle.
Yeah. First off, it doesn't even look cooked in the middle.
That's how I want my cookie, soft. I don't think this really counts as a cookie, though. What is it? Almost like a biscuit.
ASMR. It's so sweet.
Initial thoughts, the frosting is hecka sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, but so sweet.
We had a quarter of one each, and my teeth hurt. Secondary thoughts.
I think that's cavities, my friend. If your
Could
teeth
be.
hurt.
I have the weakest teeth in America.
Porous.
Mm-hmm.
We have our father's teeth.
Doesn't matter. The dentist has told me I brush my teeth good.
I know.
Well.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
Well, that cookie was... Yeah, it was like... More like a
little cakey... It's almost like brownie consistency.
Yeah, it was. The edge was a little crispy, but... I mean, I do want my other quarter, but... Oh, man, that was sweet. Yeah, why is that so sweet?
It has a half an inch of frosting on it.
It does have so much frosting.
They did. It was like half of them had frosting and half were something else.
To me, these crumble cookies is even a less good idea than those like specialty cupcakes they had.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. The cupcake craze. Because it comes in the little pink box and it's like recognizable. And when I went in there, first off, it's weird because in the line...
But also, thank you for getting this.
You can go up to the front or you can go to a little kiosk and order. Like sometimes they have that like in McDonald's now. But it's you still have to go in the... It's in the line is where the kiosk is.
But it's like stark white in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then... But then there's a wall that's like a selfie background with their logo. So it's very free marketable. You know what I mean? You get free advertising because people are posting the little pink boxes and posting the selfies and posting the new cookie of the week.
Come on, man. It's like going to youth conference. Oh, wait. You weren't old enough for any of those. They started doing where you could like tweet or hashtag and then it would show up.
Like at the... I think I went to one of those. Like at baseball games.
The inside of that though, the corner, the top of the triangle.
Yeah.
That bite was good.
We'll save you from listening to us eat. I'm like, I have to drink like a gallon of water.
Yeah, I think I had like a sharpness in the top of my mouth.
Maybe it's a cavity.
You don't have cavities in your... Yeah, you have a throat cavity.
Oh, there's a cavity. Yeah, is it? I don't know if it's craze-worthy. It is like the cupcakes.
It's definitely not craze-worthy.
You get those little cupcakes that are like $8, and it also has as much frosting height as depth of cake. And it's, too much.
This is what I was going to say. What's weird about a cookie, especially like this, where it has frosting and blueberry whatever on top, fake blueberry
compote.
Compote. There's a good word.
That's it.
Crumble. Oh, this is what I was going to say about the cookie. The cookie it's worse than it's a worse idea than cupcakes, because a cupcake you expect, okay, we got off track, is the frosting and the compote. Because on the cupcake, that's what you expect it to be. The spongy cake, and it's sweet, and you have, even when they do it in the specialty places and there's like 2 inches of frosting on the top of that frosting, that's
and the
so
cupcake
good.
is somehow smaller than normal.
It's like half cupcake, half frosting.
Compoto.
It's Japanese.
Oh, that was a good episode. Anyways, but a cookie, it's like, to me, it'll have even a faster run, because a cookie is just like, you expect it to be a cookie. Like when I had that, I'm like, this is just odd.
Do you think you're gonna eat this whole thing by yourself? Either?
No.
It's
Yeah, that's
so
the other
much.
thing. They're so big.
It's if you haven't seen one, it's probably about 4 inches wide.
Put your hand up to your face, and that's, if your hand is bigger than your face, you have cancer.
Oh yeah. Broken nose. Broken glasses.
Yeah. Anyways, crumble cookie. Yeah, I've seen people get the packs.
I'm gonna say don't go.
I've seen a bunch of ladies go, and like they'll get, we're having like a fun after work thing or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and why is it geared towards women?
Because women are the only ones who eat cookies. They're supposed to be making cookies for their husbands.
Right. They're not allowed to eat sweets and get fat.
The apron has to fit still. Yeah, I don't know. Crumble cookies.
I'm gonna say I'm out.
There's a cupcake place that's still open on that Pacific right there
Yep.
next to. You'd think it's
By
right by the
by
campus, you know.
Indochine.
Everything there. Oh yeah, yep, that's there. And that somehow stayed in business all this time, even through the freaking. So either they have gobs of money, or they made enough to keep it going.
Yeah, maybe people still like order them for birthdays or
Maybe
whatever.
they stole their PPP loans.
Right. What are you working with? You got a gripe?
No, I was. Oh, thank you for saying that. Now, I said last time I felt like I came with too many gripes.
Mm-hmm.
I had an episode where I had trace gripes.
Overly groped.
I had a hat trick of gripes.
Past tense of gripe.
Goal! I was going to say goal.
What's the past tense of gripe? Groped.
Greeped.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, are you looking at something?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the past tense of gripe.
I was like,
It's griped.
I was in conversation mode, not
Oh, I was waiting for you to get to the point.
not rant mode. So, and then I was just looking at you, like scrolling as if.
No, sorry, I was stuck on that still. I thought you were going to say something else
griped.
about...
I thought you were being funny.
Yeah, but I thought I could find something funny. Like I did find out it also is some sailing term. So I thought then there would maybe be something funny. But I couldn't find it.
Griped, more like graped. It was a drive-by fruiting.
I don't remember
Name
that.
that movie.
No idea.
This is Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that in a long time. It's a good one.
I was
Called
saying at
Nancy.
church on Sunday they were talking about like different families have a culture, and so like what are sort of like the good things about the culture of your family, or some like identifying characteristics that were good about your family.
Yeah.
And so people were saying, people had tons of them, and they saw.
Was this like a call out thing?
Yeah. So it was sort of like people were saying very cliche answers too. I'm like, just say like everybody was
Someone
happy.
was like ice cream.
Nobody was like, we roasted each other all the time and we loved it. It was like acceptance in Christ. And it's like, just
because they
talk
have
normal.
a gay kid.
Yeah. No, this is good things about their family.
Oh.
And
they're like, eat dinner together every night.
I think that was one of them. and then Karen was like, okay. She's just like, okay, get to the bad stuff.
Karen goes there now too?
She whispered under her breath, yes. She's been there many a time.
She said what?
She said, get to the bad stuff. Yes, she said, get to the bad stuff. And that's why Karen is one of my good friends, because we like to joke about either A, the Kardashians, or B, dark things.
Yeah, you ready for Chloe to be on Hot Ones?
Oh, is she going to be in that?
Yeah, I think tomorrow.
We've been talking about their butts are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking a lot about Courtney and Travis.
Yeah. I gave up. I don't really see this stuff anymore.
You don't see his stuff anymore?
Yeah.
You saw a lot of it before?
Yeah, for some reason it was like always coming up. Maybe like when they first got together, it was kind of more trending.
Yeah.
But
now all their pictures look like they're...
What were some of the negative things that people were thinking to say?
I mean, it was just a lot of the stuff that you would think. Like,
my dad hits my mom.
No, it was like lack of safety, or it was kind of like when you were a kid, like growing up.
Yeah.
Like what was like the sort of story, because somehow it wasn't really about fathers. He doesn't really do 100% like, he's not like doing like a father's sermon or whatever.
Memorial Day, it wasn't about the armed forces and how God uses them.
If anything, okay, let me get back to that. Let me get back to how he talks. But so anyways, it was just answers like, it was just normal stuff that you would have thought are, but he actually brought up like the Juneteenth thing. That's how he was like started it. He was sort of talking about slavery is part of, like, you could say like if the US was like a family or something, like that's just part of their story. That's like, it's a part of the nation's story. It's like our, biggest like stain, you could say. You could probably argue. He was kind of talking about that, and kind of talking about like why then we should care. He had these couple of quotes. He's not really a quote guy now that I was thinking about it, but he had this kind of quote that what encapsulates like true equity for people. Because like people who say like, well, there's no slavery now, like what's a big deal? Like everybody just work hard now. There's nothing holding you back.
Yeah.
But if you're born into certain, strata or culture or whatever, that can be like super prohibitive to just do your best. But anyway, he has like such good ways of talking about things. And then somehow like, he's like, everybody's family has a story. And then he's like, and then, so he's sort of talking about fatherhood a little bit in there, but it's not a Father's Day sermon.
Yeah.
And then we get to just like the chapter in Luke that he was on, because they'd just been going in order.
Yeah.
So he's like, and somehow he wraps it all into that. And actually, one thing I like about that church and Josh, and specifically, is like he's so smart in the ways he talks about stuff, and well, it's Christian and Missionary Alliance Church, so they're very like world focused anyway. So it's not like
mine.
It's not
is
like
Grace Community Church, and they're all about community.
Yeah, this is like, so they're not going to be all like guns blazing, America, vote R down the thing.
Yeah.
You know, probably like very unlikely to find that kind of church. Or less likely, I should say, anyway. And, but whatever it is, it's been some of maybe the abortion stuff, which he's never even like said out loud, like the word abortion, or it's like stuff that'll happen like during the week that's just in the news, like the shooting or, you know, stuff that we've had. And like on a topic like guns or a topic like Juneteenth or anything that's happening in the government or anything, he's really able, I think personally, to say the right thing, but also realizing there's probably like opposite opinions in the room, because it's like we're in a very liberal area.
So is he trying to like touch on it to maybe like what the Bible would say about it, but not just like black and white like that?
But he's not. Yes, but he's not like hiding anything either.
Yeah,
he's not like. I take it as like, you know, I mean, I'm sorry to say, just like Pastor Jennings, and even I think Scott is this way because they're both sort of similar personality, but I think this is maybe a habit that Scott picked up also from Pastor Jennings that I think it probably gave him license to feel this way, but they're both like so insecure and so worried about what people think that they will like sort of pussyfoot around a subject.
Wish we had the video.
They'll pussy teeth around.
Oh, jeez. What's that called?
Pussaduncha.
Yeah, denta something. I saw the movie.
Teeth.
Yeah.
So he's not like maybe they would like feel like they have to talk about it, but they're so afraid to burn bridges or have somebody walk out the door or not give money anymore that they won't even take a position at all. And I mean, God forbid, try to talk about what the Bible says about it.
Yeah.
But this guy, he definitely has an opinion about it. He tries to explain why it's biblical, but he's not doing a 0.123 subheading A, B. He's not trying to convince you of anything, but he's able to like draw everybody in. He just talks about it and
share information about it, or like relating things about it.
Even I can't really. What are the words? It's sort of like you might say if you were like. It's sort of like clever, like you might say, like a lawyer. It's not like entrapping somebody or something.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like he's able to like get the point across without offending
and make you think about it as opposed to like telling you something.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Come to your own conclusion.
Well, I think part of his job is to sort of like to
lead the sheep. Right?
You just sounded so serious and your face looked so serious when you said it. Lead the sheep.
Pastor, pasture, Merriam-Webster's dictionary, Jaco Pastorius.
It's like a thing. I mean, people just blame, a lot of pastors like blame attendance on COVID and everything, and that was a big deal. But also, it's just pastors are saying things are hard right now because everything's so inflamed politically. It happened like at Landon's school. The principal would email, it's like, hey, half of you are emailing me because you're mad that we're not wearing masks, and half of you are emailing me because you're mad that we are, or whatever. But it's like each side is at a 10.
Yeah.
And so that's what
it's always like each side's loud now as opposed to the past.
So if you're a pastor and it seems like, they'll say the same thing too. Some people say, like, I get emails and people are saying, like, why do you believe CRT or whatever? And then half the people are saying, why aren't you talking about,
and there's some of us are like, what is CRT?
Hashtag.
I thought that was the new Honda.
This is what I was going to say about the sermon thing, the Josh thing, about how he is just very deft, what he says.
Sign language?
Deft. The past tense of deft.
I don't even know what that means.
DEFT.
I thought, is that what you put in diesel engines? Deft.com. It's a data center and cloud backup services.
Nerds
characterized by facility and skill.
Never gotta look up facility.
The photographer's deft use of lighting. The deft fingers on the trumpeter. Oh, you know what is a synonym of deft?
No.
Bravura.
Oh, wait.
Shout out.
Yeah, what
high
was that?
School metal bands.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Bravura.
And it just got brought up at Douglas's wedding. Shout out Douglas's wedding. Good times.
Oh, but what I like about that, and that he is so deft at bringing up those subjects, and I think talking about them in the way that they need to be talked about.
And neatness and sureness of touch and handling.
Oh, this is it. He talks about things in a way that I think they need to be talked about, but without offending either.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm saying. Either you're not getting it, either you're not getting to the point because you're trying to like appease everybody, or you're making such a point that everybody's offended. He's able to like make a point and keep everybody together. And that's such a skill.
That is a skill.
So that's what I was trying to say.
Not like Donald Trump.
But to me, that shows, one, that he's just smart, because you can't just do that off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. But it also shows me in some way that he cares and he's actually like thinking through things, and he's not just going, even if what he said, even if I thought it was a 10 out of 10, you can still do a 10 out of 10 and sort of be checked out from what you're saying. You could just be smart. You could be a good speaker, which he's both of those things. But yet, with that skill he's showing and talking about, like maybe those big headliney things, it shows me it's not all just like going off of like rote, thought,
right?
Or just like giving a sermon points or something.
What would he say about the headline about the beaver cutting out the internet?
He has now. I wouldn't say he's talked about beaver, but even just in the couple months that I've been there, he said one or two things that aren't like, they're not beyond the pale by any means for a pastor, but
the What's his name? Comedy
Jim
special?
Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan special?
I knew what you were going to say.
I was going to say Jeff Dunham for some reason. Jim Gaffigan special.
But,
what does Beyond the Pale mean? I feel so stupid in this episode today.
you know what? Beyond the Pale was in my head, and I was going to pull back on it because we already talked about other words. But then I was like, no, now I need to say it because he'll say
What does it
something
mean?
about Jim Gaffigan.
What does it mean? Just tell me really quick.
Beyond the Pale, it's not like it's not like offensive. Yeah, I guess it's like something that's offensive, sort of No, not
Outside the bounds of
I was about to say
acceptable.
uncouth. Then I was like,
know
can we not?
uncouth.
Okay.
Outside the bounds of acceptable behavior.
Yeah.
The language my father used was beyond the pale.
What's the other one? What's the one you thought was weird?
What?
That you were shaking your head at.
Oh, just,
Oh, I thought there was
I don't know.
another example. Taboo. That's what I was gonna say. That's a word I couldn't think of. But he said a few things that maybe involved.
Ruffled feathers.
No, it's more sort of like maybe sexual in nature within the bounds of marriage, I should say.
Ooh. The wedding bed or whatever. What do they call it?
That's another thing I sort of like about him. He's sort of like, come on, we all know what we're talking
It's
about
a
here.
colloquial phrase.
Yeah. Beyond the Pale.
Yeah.
Colloquial phrase. Yeah.
Don't know where it comes from. Don't know what it means.
Beyond the Pale. I think that's what happened to Sirius Black.
Ooh.
Wait, did you ever finish those movies?
Harry Potter's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were watching.
Oh, with Lauren? No.
Yeah. Okay. There's been a couple of times where I have a memory. I'm like, oh yeah, Will was watching those with. And then right now, when that sentence was like half out of my mouth asking you,
You didn't know who?
I got so, even though I knew it was Lauren, I got so nervous that the answer was going to be, that wasn't Lauren. That was she who will not be named.
Yes. Harry Potter. We are like 6 seasons into Game of Thrones. Almost done with season 6. So.
But you finished Harry Potter's.
No. I personally have.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has on her own.
I was thinking because you hadn't said anything about that you finished.
Yeah.
Did Got go 7 seasons?
8, but the last 2 were only like 6
Yeah,
episodes each or something like that. And I'm at the point now where I don't remember like anything except for like the final episode. So I'm really just back in it.
I'm glad that's over. So people stop talking about it.
Yeah, but like there's something about a show that everybody's watching, you know, when you're around the water cooler. Culturally.
I agree.
Season 1 of Stranger Things. Remember that?
I remember when it happened.
I haven't watched the new one. Now it's Top Gun. Is Top Gun really the greatest movie ever?
Some people think it is.
Did you watch it?
No.
I'm not taking Lauren to see some dudes half naked on the beach.
So
Their mustaches.
like that Miles Teller. I
Yeah.
can't tell if I like love him. I either have a man crush on him or he just annoys the heck out of me.
Well, I loved him in Whiplash,
Oh,
the jazz drumming movie.
He actually seems cool, but the way he talks and his overall vibe, he comes off very douchey.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Have you seen him?
I haven't listened to anything like interviews or anything.
But then he does sort of seem, he sort of like laughs kind of easy too.
Yeah,
So it just makes me think his overall vibe And he was probably born with like that fast
Maybelline.
talking,
Oh,
sort of like, and he's very like square jawed kind of.
is he from like New York or something?
I don't think so. No, because he doesn't have. Well, I bet he's from LA.
Yeah.
But he just has that way of talking, kind of aloofness that makes you think he's a jerk. But where's he from?
Downingtown, Pennsylvania. 35 years old. Married since 2019.
What?
To Kaylee Sperry. Who is she?
The shoe girl?
An actor and model.
The boat shoe girl?
Boat. Boat shoe girl.
Why don't you wrap it up?
This is the podcast. I hope you lasted to the end. Because you're a friend. And tell a friend. But don't. And don't comment. And don't like if you like. Because it's the Bad Brothers podcast.
I don't want to be too loud.